Hello, graded video game collectors. Like many of you, I was really impressed with YouTuber Karl Jobst's recent video on suspected market manipulation within the ranks of Wata Games and Heritage Auctions. I have the link in the description if you haven't seen that yet. Karl provides a thorough investigation into apparent market manipulation and collusion by the directors and stakeholders of both Wata Games and Heritage Auctions, and how these two companies have manufactured a video game sales bubble for their own financial benefit. While I am not an investigative journalist myself, I do have access to hundreds and thousands of completed auction results that may corroborate or refute some of the information in Karl's video. I believe Karl's video is an important first step to resetting the market, and my goal today is to simply keep the conversation going. We've all seen the Heritage auction for the Wata-graded Mario 64. At a ridiculous $1.56 million, it represents the highest ever selling video game. But how far does this Heritage Wata trend go? Is Karl correct in saying that all high-dollar game auctions are being held at Heritage? This is important as it may point towards a shill bidding scheme or other forms of market manipulation. For this, we go to our own website, nerdmelon.com. Nerdmelon collects completed auction data from 9 of the largest online auction houses, Heritage Auction being one of them, and provides it to the collecting community as a free source of market information. The first thing we did was pull up the top 10 selling video games for 2021 so far. Indeed, Heritage Auction was listed in all the top 10 spots, beating out rivals such as eBay and Certified Link. Each record high auction was also for a Wata graded game. So then we pulled the top 500 sales. The dollar value total for the top 500 video games equals $20.7 million, and a whopping $17.4 million, or 84%, of that was sold at Heritage. And again, we see the Wata graded games trend, as all but 4 sold by Heritage on this list were Wata graded. The remaining 4 consisted of 2 non-standard size video games that don't fit into the Wata graded cases, 1 auction for the box and instructions only, and 1 very expensive M16 rifle for the Super Nintendo. Heritage Auction did not sell a single VGA graded game. And you know what? That's their prerogative. Heritage can choose to sell whatever they want, and these numbers alone do not prove anything except that Heritage only sells Wata graded games and that they are selling for exorbitant amounts of money. But if you haven't already drawn your own conclusions after watching the Karl Jobst video, then maybe this additional information will help. At 33 minutes and 29 seconds, Karl questions the reliability of the grade provided by Wata Games, especially when it comes to the seal rating for sealed video games. He provides his arguments and draws some conclusions that Wata may be overgrading to drive up prices, or possibly that Wata graders are selling their own graded games and artificially increasing games to gain a higher profit. There is no ultimate grading standard that all grading companies must adhere, so this leaves grading up to the subjective whims of the grader, which we can all agree can be problematic if the grader stands to profit from the sale of higher graded games. In his video, Karl shows a Wata graded copy of Tomb Raider for Sega Saturn with an A+ seal rating, the second highest grade Wata gives for a seal. But there are clearly holes and other imperfections on the seal, and this game should not have been given a near perfect grade. But maybe this example is just an anomaly, so let's dig a little deeper. First, I want to know how many sealed games are being sold, and maybe this will tell us a little bit more about the market. So in 2021 so far, 5,989 sealed video games graded by Wata have sold at auction. Seal ratings for these games are presented using a lettering scale, with C being the worst grade and A++ being the most perfect seal one could expect. Going in, I expected to see many C and B grades, definitely some nice B+ and A grades, and fewer of the near perfect A+ grade, and maybe only a handful of super rare ultra pristine A++ seals. But that's not what I saw at all. In fact, the results are completely opposite of that. Apparently, over 80% of all sealed games graded by Wata have an A+ or an A++ perfect seal. Again, this is not evidence of Wata overgrading so that they can profit from the sale of their own games, but it is definitely worth considering in addition to the evidence that Karl Jobst lays out in his video. Okay, so enough of the number crunching. Let's just figure this out using our own eyes. After all, we have nearly 3,000 A+ and 1,800 A++ examples from this year alone that we can look at. The examples I'm about to show are similar to the Tomb Raider in Karl's video in that they appear to be graded higher than Wata's definition of their seal rating, But to be fair, for every questionable grade I found, there were hundreds of accurate grades as well. According to WADA, the A+ grade is considered exceptional condition, a seal that is near mint condition but has a few small flaws that are very distracting, can have light scuffs or other small distracting marks, but no holes. The A++ grade should be like new condition, a seal that is new or very near perfect condition. In the condition as it was when it left the factory, this is the best condition one would hope to see in a seal. Only displays the lightest of factory processing marks, if any, often described as case fresh. Yikes, none of these give me that case fresh feeling in my tum-tum. But like I said before, these examples appear to be the exception and not the norm. My own conclusion here is that there are far too many A+ and A++ seal ratings for my liking, but there could be other factors at play here, like collectors only wanting to send in their most pristine games for grading. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. More importantly, if you haven't watched Karl's video, click the link in the description. He put a hell of a lot more work into his video than I did for this. And if you haven't already, please check out nerdmelon.com. Sign up is free and it gives you access to over 1 million completed auction results where you can research and draw your own market conclusions.